Now, before we go into this, apparently this guy is a hacker. This PirateSoftware guy, apparently, he is a hacker, and he hacks for Blizzard, Amazon, the United States Department of Entry, and he helps them. So apparently, this guy will know some things. He's also a game dev.
All right.
Let's see what this guy's claim is, because I'm really interested in this now.
I'm getting hacked.
Okay. I do think it'd be really good to set a little bit of the stage really quickly, which is that apparently what happened, this all spawned from a live competition where someone has claimed they are getting hacked live. And then it's exploded since then. People are claiming anti-cheat is the problem. Some people are saying the source engine is the problem. Everyone's saying a bunch of different stuff. So it sounds very convoluted, and I don't...
People. So let's just watch the video first. Let's go.
Yep. I'll watch him, and we'll meet
I'm
up
doing
at
the
the
same
end.
thing.
I'm getting hacked.
Can you play the game?
Bro, I'm getting hacked.
I know, but can you play? Can you play?
Yeah, but it's cheating. What the fuck?
No, what?
Like what?
No, but is
What?
it fucking up your game?
Yes, I can see everyone. Like
You need to leave. You need to leave. You need to leave.
I didn't leave the game, right?
Yeah, he has to
Yeah, I'm
leave.
leaving. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Like what the?
Admins now. Nick, admins now. Nick,
But
admins now. Tell the
I
admins
left.
now.
I left. Like
Admins now. Restart your game, rejoin. Oh no, you left the match. Did you close your game, leave the match?
I left.
Jen,
I had to leave.
did you leave the match?
I have to. Yes, yeah, I have to. Yes. I have to. I have to leave. I left.
Like, bro.
Getting hacked. I'm getting hacked. But
I know, sure. Can you play the game?
bro, I'm getting hacked.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I'm.
So
I mean,
here's the problem with this video. Do you see how this starts right here? Where it starts in with all of the people being shown? All the locations? What's the context before this? Where's the video that shows just what happened before this? Because...
So that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, to me, this looks like somebody who has cheat programs on his computer that accidentally turned them on, which we've seen a billion times before. And the community has extrapolated this out as there's an RCE, an easy anti-cheat or Apex. This is the source material for that? Really?
My first thought was, bro just actually enabled it, realized he enabled it, and better quit really quickly before anybody gets in trouble.
That's weird shit, dude.
But they don't realize the
So
lore.
here's something that's interesting. There's only one...
What they don't understand is they don't have the context, right? As they said, they don't have the context. They don't have the lore of like Destroyer's been a prominent cheater for a long time and stuff like that, right? Like giving out Apex packs and 50 other things.
Piece of this that actually equates to this. It says Apex Hacking Global Series by Destroyer 2009 and Random. So this is the only part that says that could be true. But this looks on its face like this dude activated cheats. This is the only thing that saves him, I think. The chat right there on the left side is the only thing that saves him. Legitimately.
And I bet you if the chat is real, other people probably were able to see the chat, and thus it would show up on other chats. And so this would be, typically when you're hacking, you don't want to just spam in the chat that you're currently hacking.
No, you do all the time. Like, he wouldn't spam it. I don't think anyone else in the chat is able to see this. Unless it's his account saying it, because is he DZ? Yeah, he is. Okay,
Yeah,
so it is
DZ,
his account saying it. Yeah, so it's somebody sending this as him. Yeah. Which is interesting. So a normal cheat tool would not do that. So yeah, it looks like there's a good claim there. Now the thing that's really interesting about this is someone was claiming that this is remote code execution.
Whoa.
Right?
Can we do one quick pause for just a quick second?
Yeah.
As part of before we get started, the editor, you'll have to kind of flop this into a correct location. Thor, could you give us a little background about you and say cheating or security so people know that this isn't your first merry-go-round in this topic?
No. So I've been in the security industry for 20 years. I'm a hacker. My job at Blizzard Entertainment was lead of application security, which is all of Blizzard's websites globally, and then I was a senior red team specialist. I have banned over 2 million players throughout my career. I have 3 black badges from DEF CON, and my last job was hacking power plants for the federal government. This is not my first rodeo. This is entire...
Brother, what? 3 DEF CON badges? Who even knows what that means? That sounds scary. But hacking power plants for the government is insane. Hacking power plants for the government is insane.
I have banned over 2 million players throughout my career. I have 3 black badges from DEF CON, and my last job was hacking power plants for the federal government. This is not my first rodeo.
Brother. This is Thanos. Yeah, Thanos. What? This might be the CEO of the internet.
hacks is entirely my wheelhouse, right? 100%. I've done this for 20 years. I know a lot of shit about this.
What the
Yes.
fuck?
So if you were to ask Thor about security, he probably has at least you have some conception of what is going on here.
Just a bit. Just a little bit. Yeah.
That
Awesome.
part is a
Okay.
hacking
so
competition?
now let's
Okay.
go on. Sorry for the interruption. I know that may have broken your flow. I don't even actually remember what you're saying. I just want to make sure we get that out there so that way we have a nice, smooth.
Yeah, definitely. We've also got another clip that
Zach's
looks like, by the
glazing?
way.
Fuck
you
yeah,
haven't
I'm
seen this other
glazing.
one.
That's insane.
You want to?
Where?
Can someone
Yeah.
throw it in my chat?
We have the same exact player. I'm going to go grab this and send this to you as well.
Okay, nice. Okay, yeah, it's the one
So-
with he's on a bow. He's
Yeah.
using the bow.
So let's
Okay,
take
I'm
a look
gonna
at
watch
this. Watch what
yeah,
happens
I'm
a
up
couple
pink.
seconds in.
I'm
Same
up in
player.
Yep.
Oh. Oh. Huh.
Wait. Wait, what the fuck?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry
I'm
about
getting
it.
hacked. I'm getting hacked.
So that's what happened right before. It pops up.
Okay.
Where?
Like, bullet here. I'm
Yeah,
up
I'm gonna
pink.
get the pop up
I'm
on
locked in there.
TSM halal hook.
Yep. There's a couple of things that I'm wondering here. Having seen this, right? It's very clear that he didn't intend for this to happen. You can see that by the chat, right? The chat is saying, hey, Apex hacking global series by Destroy 2009 and random, right? So it's people saying, hey, this is me. That credit goes to me for doing this. Happens all the time to the hacking community. However, the really interesting part of this is that it pops up an actual hack on his computer and then goes from there. This doesn't mean that there's RCE in Easy Anti-Cheat. This doesn't mean that there's RCE
Did
in
I miss
Apex.
anything?
It means this guy's computer is
food's here.
compromised at the very minimum. People have jumped to the maximum possible vulnerability here when they've forgotten about Occam's razor. This guy's computer might just be compromised. Nothing else needs to be involved with that. Whether he's been downloading cheats or not is kind of irrelevant here. It's clear that someone is doing this to his machine, as you can see on the left side. It's very clear that that's happening. My initial
by the
bet
way,
would
there's
be
one
that he's
more-
compromised, not the game.
There's one more thing that you may be missing is that it's
Sure.
happened to 2 other players as well.
So if it did happen to 2 other players, show me those, because I haven't seen those yet. That does
Yeah, we
change
haven't
things
seen those.
entirely.
Yes. Let's be real, it's probably him. It does, I mean, anytime a pop-up shows up on your computer, it does feel very sus.
Yeah, so if this is
Granted,
happening
you
to
know.
multiple players at the same time, then it does change that entirely. If it's just one dude, then it's going to be his machine that's compromised. So let's see this. Let's see the other one.
All right, hold on. So someone sent me this one. Can you send that in Thor's chat as well? And it is Imperial Hal. I highly doubt that he's cheating.
We shoot height?
Yeah, shoot now.
Yeah, I'm watching this one.
I'm cheating. I'm fucking shit. I got aimbot. I have aimbot.
Oh no.
Shoot height?
Yeah, shoot now.
Bro,
I'm cheating. I'm fucking shit. I have aimbot.
that clip does not get old.
I'm cheating. I'm fucking shit. I got aimbot. I have aimbot.
Oh no.
Shoot height?
Yeah, shoot now.
That does not get old.
I'm cheating. I'm fucking shit. I got aimbot. I have aimbot.
Oh no.
You gotta leave the game. You gotta leave the game, bro. You
Back
gotta
out,
leave
bro.
the
So this is happening to 2 players at the same time. But here's something that's really interesting. Look in the chat. This guy doesn't have the
He
chat
doesn't-
on.
Yeah, he does not have the chat thing.
So one player gets chat where it's clear that his machine is compromised in some way, right? The other guy doesn't get that chat but has aimbot turned on.
We shoot height?
Yeah, shoot now.
Imperial Hal, by the way, like if you don't know, Imperial Hal is like he's been top 10 Apex player since like the very beginning.
Sure.
Probably highly doubt that he's cheating. You know, like his aim is not that much different than what the aimbot just did for him. So he's pretty good. So he's top
Yeah.
2 right now. So he's very, very good at the game. So it's unusual for him to be using that.
Yeah, it would be super unusual for that.
Yeah.
That guy said top 10, by the way. That guy said top 10. It's him and Zero and his top 2. And it ain't even a conversation after 2. You can make a conversation a top 2. After 2, you're just discrediting yourself.
Okay. Yeah. They were
So
very
in
different.
order to pull this off, what the attacker would need to have is the ability to download and run a cheat in runtime to that person's client. So they would need remote code execution to get all of that onto their machine and then run it, which does lend the possibility towards a remote code execution in Apex. That does. It gives the possibility for that. Doesn't mean it is, but it does. It could also be that these machines are compromised because it didn't hit everyone in the game. It just hit 2 people.
Yeah.
That is a clever thing to do if you're trying to create, the fog of war with that. But when you have an exploit this big, it's much more funny to make everyone suddenly cheating because that's hilarious. If you're going to go for it, you go for it all, right? Generally. So I am wondering, I think at that point, it's the same thing. We have to wait to see where the vuln exists. Is this an easy anti-cheat, which seems unlikely to me? Is this in Apex, which is possible? Or is this individuals compromised computers? Because you could have two people on a gigantic tournament like this that have compromised computers. As a good example of this, we just ran a game jam, right? We had 1,400 submissions. 30 of those submissions were malware. Of those 30 submissions, 2 of them were people that did not package malware into it. Their machines were compromised, and the games that they actually compiled had that malware in it, and they had no idea. And we helped them get the malware off their machine that stopped their game from being malware. This shit happens all the time. So there's still the likelihood that you have 2 individually compromised machines here. That is still absolutely possible.
Nah, I have to know who this is. We are partnered at 500 followers? Taking a break from game development? Oh, hell no. You fucking motherfucker.
And I think it's foolish to jump to conclusions on this stuff, and I'm seeing a lot of people on the internet doing that. This requires investigation and actual information. 100%.
So another interesting part is that Hal and again Burton usually have the 2 most highest viewers.
Mm-hmm.
Gen Burton.
And so to be the target of some sort of
Gen
remote cheat,
Burgerton.
say, be able to get your name out there for the cheats, they would be the most likely targets.
Yeah.
If this was some sort of, I mean, I'm not saying that it is remote code execution or anything like that, but if you were to target somebody, you would want to choose the people with the most views.
Yeah, no, most definitely. If you want it to get viral, right? Which if you're posting your own name in chat, absolutely. If you're posting your handles, 100%, you'd hit the people that are actually going to be the highest viewership, 100%. It still doesn't prove or disprove if this is an RCE in Apex or if it is an individually compromised machine. Either is likely, unfortunately. And it's something that I think we just need more information. Are there any other videos for other players? Or is it only these 2?
Yeah. All right. So there's some other ones people are kind of getting, which feel a little bit more deep in the conspiracy well, which is like these 2 also got gifted Apex packs recently. Things like that. I'm not sure if, I'm sure there's maybe more gifting. It just happened to be happenstance. But there's this big Reddit article. I don't know if you've seen this, but it's on clearing misconceptions. I'm more curious some of your thoughts on this one as well. I just sent it in the chat.
So here's actually a really interesting video.
All right. You want to toss in my Twitch?
I'm going to toss it in your Discord. Get wrecked.
Dang it. All right, hold on.
Let's listen to this. Oh, man. I sure wonder how Imperial House PC got compromised.
Okay, I was download. What is this?
All right, hold on. I'm looking.
Wait. I'm going to play it right now on my stream. One sec.
Okay, I was download. What is this? Free download. Okay.
This is R5. I mean, it's just troll. Like, someone's just messing with him.
All right, I'm going to play it now for me.
You're going to be so upset.
Nah, his composure to say, you're going to be so upset.
All right, I'm going to play it now for me.
You're going to be so upset. So, dude, I'm telling you right now.
I want to download this. What is this?
I know. So, like,
free download. All right.
I'm going to be real with you. The longer this conversation goes on, the more that I believe that it is likely that we have individually compromised machines.
There's no way.
Like, that may not end up being the case, but it is now more of a possibility than when we started this conversation.
Listen, the worst fucking part of all of this is that this is like a very serious thing. And like, guys, I know what I'm about to say is like major glaze. Like, I got this guy's like fucking cock on my forehead. I get it. But not every day you get the privilege of talking to someone who purposely hacks power plants for the federal government, right? Like, not every day you get to talk to someone like this. Like, I wish everyone was taking it seriously and trying to like learn and trying to get information out of him instead of people just like trolling him with stupid shit like this. Because then this changes his opinion. It changes his mind without any context about anything. This is just Hal downloading R5. But But instead, it makes Hal look like an absolute fucking moron who's just clicking fucking like porn ads and downloading random shit. Like, no, that's not the case. Someone's just not taking the situation seriously, and the streamer is taking the situation seriously, and now it's changing his opinion. So it's definitely frustrating, whoever is like submitting this shit.
You have risky behavior with downloads. You have 2 people being targeted that have the top viewership, and the panic that is caused out of this is oh, Apex has RCE. Oh, Easy Anti-Cheat has RCE. When there's no evidence of that yet. If there is evidence that comes out for that, great. That's part of the investigation, right? Yeah, funnygame.exe a little bit. This isn't part of the investigation phase. What is going on? We have evidence of what goes on. How does that happen? What is the way that occurs? Easy Anti-Cheat actually put out a statement saying that there is no RCE on their end, by the way, if you haven't seen it.
Yeah. Let's see. Hold on. Let me I just had it right. I'm sorry. I have so many of them.
Yeah, they
there you
said
go. Easy Anti-Cheat said, we've investigated the recent reports of potential RCE issues within Easy Anti-Cheat. At this time, we are confident that there is no RCE vulnerability within EAC being exploited.
Okay, so I'd like to clarify. Billion-dollar companies, $100 million companies, $50 million companies. These companies will do everything in their power to protect their brand. It is extremely unlikely that they were able to clear this. I want you guys to look at the timestamp. This is at 6 a.m. That hacking shit happened at like 9 p.m. or some shit, like 7 p.m. So that means that they didn't sleep. They worked all night and went through everything. And they were able to clear their entirety, the entirety of EAC. The reality of this being definitive is very unlikely. It's more like, for example, Facebook, like 10 years ago, told us all they didn't have a data leak and they cleared everything and all of our shit was safe. And then like 5 years later, they got sued for like 50-something million because they lied to everyone so that they could make 5 more years of money before having to go back on it. And they ended up making like hundreds and hundreds of millions and then only owed like 50 million. Like, brands will always do this. You cannot rely on this as well. Yeah, cleared it on a Sunday night. Yeah, exactly. Like, this is not reliable information. Anyone telling you this reliable information is just fucking being a goober. Like, Facebook, like, Instagram, like any brand, you name it, is going to cover their ass in a situation like this. Like, end of story. They would much rather deal with a $10 million lawsuit in 10 years than sit here, lose $50 million over the next 2 years, right? Like, the last thing they're going to do is tweet out, yes, we have an RCE, please uninstall any game with Easy Anti-Cheat. Their stock, their everything is going to fucking die overnight. Warzone, COD, Apex, like, how many games use Easy Anti-Cheat? It's going to fucking die.
He said, we've investigated the recent reports of potential RCE issues within Easy Anti-Cheat. At this time, we are confident that there is no RCE vulnerability within EAC being exploited. We'll continue to work closely with our partners for any follow-up support needed.
Yep. And I responded to that and I said, being confident is different from fully understanding the recently claimed RCE vulnerability. With EAC's claim here, I'm still waiting to see if the vuln lies with Apex or EAC. Better to be correct over being fast. Don't spread needless fear and wait for more information. Because, like, that's what it comes down to. Any company can claim anything they want. Every company claims that they haven't been compromised. But let me tell you, working in this field...
So what I just learned is I'm equally as smart as a guy who hacks power plants. That's what I'm learning right now.
Everybody gets compromised all of the time, and it's ridiculous to have that be a claim, right? So it's wait for information. Let's see what happens. They have to cover their ass 100%, and I'd like to see what the actual mechanism for this was. Right now, there could be RCE. Based on Occam's razor and seeing this many times, I think it is more likely of individually compromised accounts. Compromised machines, especially when you have a person just downloading anything. Unless that was a meme video, it doesn't really paint the situation positively for him, right? You know, like,
yeah,
that's kind of a thing with that, is it is more likely to be an individually compromised machine. It is less likely to be RC in the game. But maybe it is. It could be RC in the game. We just have to wait. And what I've told people is the same thing I'm going to say now. If you are worried about this, wait 24 to 48 hours. Don't play Apex for 24 to 48 hours. If it turns out to be RC in the game, then you dodged a bullet. If it doesn't, who gives a shit? You just didn't play a game for 2 days. Doesn't matter. Not a
Thank
big deal.
you.
Yeah.
Thank
so
you.
clearing up from the article, clearing up misconceptions about the ALGS hack. One of them says that, am I in danger if I play Apex? Maybe. I personally have uninstalled Apex to be safe right now, and I think you should do the same if you are on a PC.
Yep.
How do you feel about that type of advice? Is that a good level set of advice?
I think that's pretty fine right now. Like, being off of a game for 2 days is not a big deal. Like, that's totally fine. That being said, the people who were targeted here are very high-profile people. If it was absolutely RCE inside of Apex Legends, which is unlikely to me right now, it would be more likely that they'd hit the entire player base at once. You can hit a couple of high-profile streamers in a high-profile game, but if you have something that distributable, you're going to hit everybody. There'd be no reason not to.
Yeah.
You do it with Bitcoin miners, you do it with all kinds of shit, man. Like, there's no reason to just waste such a vuln, such a massive widespread vuln in such a massive game on this. It's such a small
I was about
win.
to say what you always have to ask, what is the telos, right? What is the purpose of the thing that we just got done watching? To me, it seems like the purpose was to be able to get out a name and to say something. Therefore, how they got it done is likely not this. Because if you had root level access to every last person's computer that has Apex on it, the last thing you'd want to be doing is to show that you have this, right? You'd want to be able to actually use that in some.
But they don't have the context that this guy has been doing this for months. So the guy has had access for legitimate months and months and months, right? I mean, how long ago did Hal get the Apex packs? It's definitely been months. And the guy didn't get whatever he got and then give Hal Apex packs on the same day. I'm sure that guy was tinkering around and fucking around before he was like, oh, I'm going to go fuck around with Hal and then give him packs. Like, that was not the very first thing that entered the kid's head. Like, guaranteed not.
Some way to your advantage. Like you said, Bitcoin miners, whatever you're doing something, right? And so this idea that they went out there and they took the most viewed thing that could possibly happen in Apex, some sort of tournament, some sort of, fighting thing, took the most viewed people and then hit them with a hack in which could benefit them greatly. It doesn't make much sense.
Yeah.
Right. So at least I can't see the reasoning behind it other than you get to say you did it.
So here's the thing.
Then you do it to everybody, right?
Wait, XBM TTV said this guy was hacking public lobbies too. If you're going to make a claim, post a link. Because that is meaningless to me. The text alone means nothing. Show me the evidence of this. What is this YouTube video? Let's see. This is not a public lobby. That's TSM again.
By the way, someone is wondering if you've considered if this is Blizzard and they're trying to sabotage their opponents.
This is just no. God damn it, that's funny. No, this is just another cheater in the video game. That's not the same thing at all. It is a public lobby. So you're saying that these guys are getting into the same game as a TSM player and doing this. Let's see if there's any credence to the claim.
Holy fucking shit.
Looks like this one's just like I interviewed a cheat developer.
Oh my fuck. What the fuck? There's so much more. What the fuck? How
I'm
you
dead.
There we go. Destroyer 2009 fan. In a public lobby game? Interesting.
How do you even? I'm watching a video where it's
hold
like
up.
I interviewed cheat developer Destroyer 2009. Like, how do you even know that
No, do you see this right here on my
So
screen?
this should confirm
Destroyer
that the guy
2009
has
fan,
the
Destroyer
ability to do
2009
whatever
fan,
he
Destroyer
wants.
2009 fan. So he's summoning tons of versions of himself into the game. Let's wait and see this again.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at your screen right now.
Look at this. Squad landed nearby. Look at that. They're all players and they're all that guy.
Even he's impressed, yeah.
It looks like they're bots.
They're all bots.
It does look like they're bots. All I know is that actually looks like a lot of fun, and Apex should really consider a zombie mode
Dude, agree.
because this looks like great zombie play right here.
So what it looks like is he's able to spawn in stuff in the game. So that is not end game. That is not that dude's computer being compromised.
Thank you.
If he's
All right,
able to
so
summon,
we're getting somewhere. All right. Just to be clear, Hal is probably still watching my stream. Me and Jordan are not tweaking ballsack.
in units like this and run bots on the server.
This is a whole different level of compromise right here.
That's different. Yeah, so this isn't a compromise of the user's machine. This removes the idea of it being a end user's machine being compromised. I'd be more.
At least, well, this one could be a completely different thing too. This could be a completely different one that people are trying to claim is the same.
No, if you look at
set
the
of
top right,
problems.
look at it. Destroyer 2009 fan, same people. Could be a different exploit, but this is not a good thing. Same guy, right? Exactly same guy. So I'm really interested in this now because you've got a couple of possibilities. For their machines having the cheat tools turned on, you've got end user compromised machine, right? That could be through a download, so it could be a Trojan on the machine that's actually giving that kind of an access, or it could be RCE through the game. For this kind of a vulnerability, that means they'd have to be using an exploit to summon all those units in-game, which means the server has to be saying yes to the commands that are being stated, which means they have some kind of server-level access or have found a vulnerability in the way that the client sends commands that the server is accepting them. That is really bad. This one, I find to be much scarier than the first one. I find this to be way scarier than the first one. That's bad.
Yeah, because you can see, because not only are there things showing up on other people's machine, but he's shooting them and downing them, which means they're like literally, the game is like, these are legitimate players in the game. And they somehow are running some level of code that they're running. Because obviously you couldn't have, I assume you couldn't have that many people ready to be orchestrated to just chase after somebody. There has to be some sort of code of some sort that's running, it looks like, which is actually kind of wild.
And not only that, they're doing it in a way where, if you look at this, they're all dropping at the same time, which means they're doing it in real time while stream sniping this guy playing.
What's even crazier is these accounts all have skins. Look at the skins on the characters.
Very impressive. Very
Look at
impressive.
This is the OG blue Pathfinder skin. This is like Lou's OG FlyQuest skin. You ready? This is the red Horizon skin.
Yeah. Look at this.
Like they're like unlocked accounts. It's actually crazy.
I'm telling you, this is
some had heirlooms. You're right.
Really worth it.
And you can tell it's not actually players running these; they're just bots. So the guy's summoning in bots.
It's fucking Lou. We figured out who the hacker is.
Weirder.
Trolling.
And they're all named the exact same thing. That's the other thing too. So here's a question for you guys. Can you name yourself the same thing as another player in Apex? Does it restrict you from doing that?
Yes, you can.
Because I don't play Apex. Some people are saying yes, you can. Some people are saying no, you can't.
I'm quite positive you cannot, because I can't get the Primogen account. I have it on my Xbox, but I cannot get it on EA. So I don't think you can.
Yes, you can.
Okay. You can on Steam. You can on Steam.
You can have the same name on Steam?
Yeah, they recently did update it through Steam. Okay, you get this. You can have the Steam display name.
Okay, because if you look at each next to these, they do have a unique identifier. So he's number 30, number 8, number 5, number 19. So they're all using the same name.
It's just bots.
Wow.
Yeah, you can have the same name. It just gives you a number.
The fact that they were able to get this thing to run on the server.
I'm interested in the mechanism for it, like 100%. I'm super interested in the mechanism,
dude. Destroyer 2009 has a federal government power plant hacker interested in how he's doing something, bro. Maybe Destroyer's just like not some genius and it's some other guy, or maybe he's like just some idiot and easy anti-cheat was that easily hackable. Like, who knows the actual intricacies of it? But the fact that this guy who does what he does for a living is this intrigued by it is like its own feat. It's its own, like, that's fucking sick.
Because would this suggest that you have the ability to execute? Okay, that guy's floating in the air. Does that mean you have the ability to execute code on the server? Because I assume that a client, they would never allow a client to say spawn in a robot.
A lot of games screw that up, dude. A lot of games do. Like, look at New World.
Okay.
Right? New World had a huge amount of problems with client-side authoritative actions. This is not new in the world of gaming. So there is a potential for this being
has 6 DEF CONs.
Telling the server to do something. The
definitely
server's
not.
doing something dumb that it shouldn't be doing. That happens all the time in games.
Could you imagine?
And once they're found, they get patched. But yeah, these mistakes do happen for sure. The interesting thing to me is if he's got access to a server in any way and he's getting the server to run stuff, where does that end, right? Because if you have some kind of a vulnerability that runs specific commands, then what commands can it run? Is it restricted in some way? Can it do something worse than that? I don't know. There's again, it's more investigation on this. This is some wild shit, frankly. Really wild shit. And I think the outcome of this is, regardless of what the vulnerability ends up being, Apex has taken a huge hit in terms of PR right now. Massive. People are going to be afraid to play it. Yeah, people are afraid to play the game right now. I've had, like, we've got, what, 15,000 people on the stream right now. I've had so many people come into chat today, ask me, should I uninstall Apex today?
Interesting.
So many, thousands of people today, dude.
Not a single person has asked me that, other than I should give my hot take on this. We have very different streams.
Well, it's because my primary is security, right? So people are going to come ask me about this.
Yeah.
Security specifically in the games industry. So like
My primary is skill issues, so I think I
it's true.
see why hasn't happened yet.
That is true.
Yeah.
The skill issue is going to stop them from asking, I think. Also, thank you for those 10 subs. Very nice of you. But yeah, to be real with you, dude, like, there's a number of different different exploits that are happening here. I could see how people could assume this is RCE, but we don't know.
Yeah.
This could be access to the server. This could be a client sending commands that the server accepts, where they have limited functionality. This could be that they have 2 compromised player machines. There's a lot of different options here. So you have a public lobby where they're still targeting this one guy. They're summoning in bots on that. That doesn't prove RCE. You have 2 different players' machines being compromised and cheat tools being put on their machine. You have a video of them downloading shit that they shouldn't be downloading and just running it. That could just be their individual machines being compromised. There's no solid proof that this is RCE in Easy Any Cheat or in Apex. So jumping to that conclusion makes no sense.
She said,
What's
"Who is
RCE?
this guy?
Remote code execution. So
Who
yeah,
is this
the
guy?"
general internet's going to jump on this and say like, oh, it's remote code execution. Bah, the sky is falling. That makes no goddamn sense. It never will. You have to look at any vulnerability as a researcher. Be like, okay, this is what's happening, but how? And once we find out the how, then we can claim if it's remote code execution or not.
It already happened EMEA Pro League with Mandy. I think Destroyer turned on wallhack for Mandy during a Pro League match. There's a VOT. Wait, did Mandy? I don't think so, bro, because that would have been a big deal, man. I would have heard about that. If Mandy got wall hacks and Destroyer gave him the juice, Magoose, I would have. I really think I would have known. Like, we have pro discords, we have pro chats, we have pro, you name it, we have it. And like, when things like that happen, like, those things are fucking popping. Like, I definitely would have had one of my friends say something about it.
If we don't have the how, then don't spread misinformation. Doesn't make any damn sense.
So here's a couple things that I think are really interesting. So I don't know how familiar you are with Apex, but this is a ranked game, so you can tell that it's a ranked game, I believe, by having that signal up in the top. I believe this is considered a ranked game.
No, you have a
so
clip is
therefore,
not hacks, I
how
don't
did
think.
the hacker get access specifically to Hal's game? Like, to me, that's actually the more interesting thing.
Yep.
Which is that they are able to not only either A, they are ranked near similar as Hal, which I somehow doubt, because I think it would be really hard to be a successful hacker and to be a successful this high level predator, right? Those are 2 very difficult, time consuming tasks to do. Therefore, how's he getting that information? Which is leading that there has to be a much larger
Yeah, I do
breach
have
than we
wrist issues.
probably know on the server side than on some sort of remote code execution in simplicity.
Yeah, again, so that could be something that's happening on server side, where they have access to the server in some way and the server infrastructure. Totally possible. Could be an insider threat. Could be somebody that's given access, or an insider machine that has been compromised that gains access to those types of things. Shit happens all the time, right? It could also be the fact that the client may be able to change what lobby it's in by editing the packets that are being sent to the server, and the server just accepts it. That is also a possibility. There's a lot of different routes for getting to this point. And that's why the specifics on what does cause this are the most important. Because we could sit there and wax infinitely about the potentials that could cause this. And unfortunately, those potentials are worthless till we know.
I disagree, Zino.
I'm
He said a
interested
lot
in
of
it
interesting
mostly
things.
from like kind of a research perspective. And I think the best take that I can give is just wait. Just wait. I do find it surprising that this level of vulnerability is happening so quickly. And for me, there's so many different combos here. Like, for me, the most likelihood of some of this is an end user compromised machine. They get into the streamer's machine. Another likelihood here is they have access to the server, or the ability to send commands to the server in some way to get the server to do something, clearly, right?
On a completely unrelated note, chat, I don't want to say it's a really common thing, because I don't know that for a fact, but a thing that does happen in Call of Duty with such a big company is the cheat companies will pay them to leak them like information that can help them cheat on COD and stuff like that. Because the cheat companies are making tens and tens and tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars off like COD and other games like COD. And the developers are making like $70,000 to like $150,000, right? And like these cheat companies can go to these people that are like getting fired or stuff like that, and you know, they can give them like $1 million. They can comfortably give them like $1 million or like $750,000. and then these COD devs just like give it up. Apparently that's happened like a couple times in COD, and then they've gotten in trouble. But that's just insane to me, bro.
So those two things.
They actually
seem
out there
likely.
bribing people.
Still not seeing RCE here. You know.
Interesting. Well, either way, I mean, I'm not going to be playing Apex anytime soon. I do like Apex. I love
Yeah.
the idea of Apex. I just realized that I like have entirely too many skill issues to enjoy the game thoroughly. But it's just wild that this is happening because,
Yep.
I mean, it's minimally server oriented in some sense. So
Yeah.
very impressive work. Very
Yeah.
impressive work.
Some people are saying, like, you know, hacker stated it's RCE. Cool. Who gives a shit? I don't care what the hacker states. Remote code execution is a very specific kind of vulnerability, legitimately. And when you are making claims like that, you have to prove the claim. So to be completely honest with you, anyone can claim whatever the hell they want on the internet. If you're taking that as truth without having proof of it, then you haven't been paying attention. The whole point of this is that you need the method. You need to prove the method. And if you don't prove the method, taking a claim at face value, you're just spreading misinformation. We have to know how this is happening, not just what someone claims. Ever.
Yeah.
Ever
And
at all.
again, listening to I mean, I wouldn't listen to the hacker with no proof, right? If they're just
I
saying
wouldn't listen to
this.
anyone with no proof. It's
It-
trust but
it's like-
verify, you know?
Yeah. I mean, because remember, you don't know the purpose behind this.
That is a pretty good point. If this guy is capable of hacking like federal government level huge infrastructure like power plants, then this guy definitely knows so many things and does so many things that he can't even like say on stream. That's definitely a pretty fair point. That's definitely a really fair point.
Hack other than clout. That's like your minimum you can guess is that they wanted their name to be known. We're all saying his name. So minimally, there's something to that, right? And so since we don't know the purpose, you can't really trust that the sources are RCE. You just have no idea.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think the biggest part about this for me is the internet has a very critical lack of trust but verify going on. Trust that the people are telling the truth, but verify the claim. And none of us can verify the claim right now. Because we can't verify it, don't repeat it. Don't go around telling everyone that this is RCE. We don't know. We know a claim that's been made. Prove it. Prove it.
Yeah.
That's the
It
important
is very surprising. It does seem like this is a, I understand with somebody that
Wait,
doesn't
somebody's saying
understand.
Mandy in chat? Mandy?
Yeah. I keep seeing it over and over again. Talk to this Apex Pro player. If anyone wants to get
Hey, what's
Apex Pro player in on the call, I'm fine with that.
Hey, what's up, dude? Join the call. Join the call. Man, talk with a hacker? Did you talk with a hacker or did you talk with someone who claimed they were the hacker? How did you verify who they are? I don't know how to pronounce.
I'd be a little bit surprised if he wants to
Go talk with them, Zach. This isn't live.
The other guy is
This is a VOD.
the Primogen. Oh, wait, I'm getting called. Offense, and I have 3 black bed, 100% my wheelhouse. And we've been
intro as well. Hey, my name's Primogen.
does not prove RCE. A lot of people are claiming it's remote code execution. What it does prove is that their machines are compromised. Whether it's compromised through remote code execution or it's compromised because they download something stupid is unknown. So we can't jump to conclusions on it. This one, though, where he summons in all the bots and sending you all the packs like that, makes me believe that he has some kind of access to the server in a way where he's able to get all of these items and gift them to you, being able to manipulate the server to summon all the bots. That's a much more scary vuln than what he was doing to those 2 players during that game.
Yeah, that's what he can do. I spoke with him. I actually have a YouTube video where I speak with him. If you want me to find it, I can send it to you.
Is that one real? I couldn't tell. It was Mandy, you have the I interviewed a cheat developer, Destroyer 2009.
Yes.
So that was legitimately. So this was like
That's
during the
him.
pack giving and all that. So you actually knew this was the guy.
That was actually the first time. I have a second one too. I actually don't know. I have a second one where like they like land on me and he's like on my team and I'm talking to him.
Okay.
Yeah,
because it's
if
always
got
really
it,
hard
link
to
it,
verify.
link it so I can
these
send
are
it to my
real.
chat too. Yeah,
I can probably find it.
Here.
This is the old one.
I just got the.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
But
this
yeah.
one
So
was
this
from
came out a month ago. So this guy's been doing this for a while then.
Yeah, he has. He's been landing on people. He's been just like normal cheating. You know, like the classic aimbot wall hack.
Yeah.
And but he's also been like he definitely knows some server side stuff, and I've been speaking to him.
It'd have to be. Yeah, you'd have to be at that point. If he's been doing this for long enough, the things that I'm worried about, these are the potentials out of this, right? I'm still not seeing evidence of remote code execution, but I am seeing evidence of a compromised server. I'm seeing evidence of maybe a compromised employee, or like an employee's machine could be compromised to give some extra access to this. That'd be something I'm worried about. Or a client that's able to send information to the server that the server then accepts that it shouldn't be, which all 3 of those possibilities are highly likely based on what he's able to do here. With remote code execution, that means that you're getting execution of arbitrary code on the end target. So if he has RCE to the server, that would make sense. That doesn't mean he has RCE to each individual player's client. That's a very different thing, if that makes sense. Yeah.
So
I understand what you're saying.
what is the point? Has he like tried to like sell a cheat? Is there any like reasons that you're seeing beyond or that he's talked about beyond just the point of him being able to do it and give you guys a bunch of packs or?
No, but it seems like he's just. The thing is, it seems like it's for attention because he could literally the guy that Jen Burton, he's called the first guy. He did it on. He could literally ruin someone's career because of he didn't write his name in chat, so everybody knew who it was. He would have ruined his career right there, right? But he's
100%.
obviously just doing it for attention also. He's been doing it to the bigger streamers. He's been doing it to me, Hal, Jen Burton. I'm not sure if someone else got gifted subs, or like gifted, not the subs, my bad, gifted packs. But he told me, I
Gifted
just sent
subs
him the
is
link by the way
insane.
also. He told me when I spoke to him that you can see in the link
I
now
also got
that,
fed up with all the
there's, like,
hate and
40
he's behind
people
this
landing on
case
me.
closed. Yeah. Okay, dude.
And he told me that
No.
that he's just doing it for fun because why not?
Yeah, no, that's a pretty common. That's a huge common driver. So like I've been part of the hacking community for a super long time, right? Like those black badges that I was talking about, that's from DEF CON, the hacking convention that happens in Vegas every year. There's about 30,000 of us show up and we compete with each other and have fun. Inside of that community, there's not always a monetary driver. Some of the times it's just because, hey, I want to do something that no one else can do. I want to beat the puzzle, right? And the puzzle may just be, I want to see if I can turn this company's game inside out. Totally a normal thing. So that drive is not as uncommon as anyone would think. That's a very common drive. Yeah, the old meme of for the lulz, right? It's an old meme for that. With this, I'm mostly interested not in what drives the attacker, because I understand that kind of that side of the house is super complete. The thing that interests me is what level of access does he actually have? Because if it's a client that's sending things up to the server and the server is vulnerable, right? And he's sending things up that cause remote code execution, there's a couple of different ways to do that. So you could be sending a packet that's malformed, and there's a certain level of buffer that is on the end of that packet, like a certain amount of text, that goes outside of those bounds. And we call this a buffer overflow. That buffer overflow could then maybe, potentially, execute code, right? And with those, you may have a character limit. So he might be restricted in how much he can put there. But if there is no character limit, he could write a whole shitload of code to the server. And things like what you're talking about, he could do. Being able to summon in bots. He just write a script for it once he figures it out through a lot of testing, a lot of research, finds a way to do it on a very small scale, finds a way to scale it up, and then goes and launches that, right? The thing with those two individual players, though, that still looks like a compromised end user account. So I don't think, based on what we have, I don't think that the attacker has individual access to Apex players' machines. I do think he has access to the server. To be able to get individual RCE access onto an end user's machine, that means the end user's machine has to have that vulnerability. That means the client has to be vulnerable, not just the server. So he'd have to ping pong from a vulnerable server and then down to each vulnerable client, which is a much wilder vulnerability. Like chaining like that is not easy.
But isn't that likely? Isn't that what's actually likely is that? Like genuinely, what are the odds that this guy found a way to get Hal or Jen Burton to click like phishing links or like something like that? Like what are the odds that the case is that Jen and Hal unintentionally gave up their PC? I feel like it's low. I feel like it's extremely low. We're all fucking dumbasses, like Nocturnal said. But the reality of us like clicking links like that and stuff like that, like we're very prone to like paying attention to stuff like that. At least I guess I can't speak for them, but like, bro, I'm not clicking those links.
Shit. And it means that the vuln has to, and then down to each vulnerable client, which is a much wilder vulnerability. Like chaining like that is not easy shit. And it means that the vuln has to exist there in the first place. So for me,
I would just like to point out the emphasis in his voice on that's not easy shit. And this is a federal government level power plant hacker, which means if that's the case, that's pretty insane. Maybe Hal and Jen are just victims of pussy and biolinks. It could be the case.
Occam's razor, I think he's compromised those two individual users' machines and done that to them remotely because their machines were compromised. And I think he's accessing the server in a way because the server is vulnerable in some way. Based on current information, that could change. Right?
Yeah, he told me
Also-
he can access all accounts he wants to, though. He told me he can go on my account, he can open packs.
Sure.
He told me he can buy stuff from
Yeah,
my
that'd be
account.
server
You
though.
know?
So here's the thing, though. All of those things that you're talking about, where you could go into my account and buy packs and do that, that's all server side. None of that is
Yeah.
being done on your
Yeah.
client. So if you're going into someone's account and doing something like that, and again, he didn't do it. He claimed it. He claimed he could, which doesn't mean it's real. You have to prove that kind of stuff, right? Trust but verify. Trust that he's telling
No,
the
of
truth,
course.
but verify the claim. So in this case, let's say he could do that. All those actions are server-side actions. So if he had access to the server, he absolutely could. But he doesn't have access to your machine. So if he can change, if he can issue payments, if he can do things like changing your inventory, if he can delete your account, if he can do all that kind of stuff, that is server-side access. If he can place a script or a program on your computer and then execute that, that is client access, and that's way more dangerous, like way worse, if that makes sense.
I'm also curious if it really is like malformed packets and being able to send things up to the server. What kind of other control can he have within that? Can he actually just terminate games? Right, because certain kind of packets can cause, hot CPUs, cause all sorts of problems. Can you just start causing lag? Can you actually just wreak havoc in like a really destructive way? Because that would honestly be the worst thing for Apex. Is not that he can summon 40 people and make it feel like they're a zombie server.
EA will recolor the Buster Sword and price it at $300 for an apology. Brother, that is fucking hilarious.
Survival game, but that he could actually ruin the general player's experience. And
Yeah.
do they have that type of vulnerability just sitting open?
J-Bram. We don't ever have to do like cybersecurity stuff, but we have to, depending on the org and the size of the org, you have to undergo like minor PR training, at least in my experience. Like good words, bad sentences, good sentences, how you should speak about blank. If you're involving your opinion in something controversial, how do you go about? Like there's like minor PR, but not like nothing crazy like that.
Which is really wild. That's a much different level.
Dude, 10 to 25% of all people that play Apex cheat in high rank.
That's
like,
pretty common. Yeah.
whenever I sit and play, at least like 6 people per game get banned almost.
Really?
That's like 10%
Not
of the lobby,
surprised.
yes.
I'm not surprised.
And
yeah.
And the thing is, the problem is they made companies, they made bad updates, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes they make good, sometimes they make bad. And they made an update where if you're 3-stacking, the lowest ranked rookie 4 can queue with number 1 pred, like
That
number
doesn't make
1
any sense.
highest rank.
Yeah.
You know?
So you've got an
So-
issue with ranking balance, and that's not great. Yeah.
I personally think he just does it for attention, though.
Sure.
Yeah.
If you wanted
Like,
to do it for
but
attention,
most
you'd hit
active-
to be real with you, if you wanted to do it for attention, you'd hit everybody in every game. Not just 2 major streamers. You'd hit everybody. Everybody like, oh shit, the hack is real. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
All
I see what you're
EA
saying.
completely, Apex would be unplayable for days because everyone's freaked out that they're going to get RC. That'd be, I mean, if you were going for the attention, that would be the greatest way to do attention.
The biggest issue with all of this, and like this pirate guy is a fucking genius, so I wish he had all the context. What Mandy is saying is probably and definitely most likely right. Like the guy is probably doing it for attention, but what Mandy isn't saying that needed to be said is the guy is doing it for the attention of top streamers. He's not doing it for attention. There's a big difference. And like when you watch people all the time, you're like, for example, a fan. Yeah, like you're a fan of someone and you want their attention. That's one thing. But wanting to get general attention is a whole nother thing. And that's where PirateSoftware and Mandy are on different pages, but they're not effectively communicating the differences. Mandy is saying directly, no, he wants the attention of like Hal and Jen and all these people. And PirateSoftware is saying, well, if he wanted attention, he would have hit everyone because that's how you get the most attention. Because then you have casuals making Twitter accounts tweeting about it. Then you have casuals interacting with pro players. Everyone's tweeting. That's the most amount of attention. That's at the moment, it's obviously not the case. He's just wanting the attention of the large streamers.
The most that I'm getting out of this is I've got 2 most likely possibilities, right? Most likely possibility, this dude has server level access,
Yeah.
right? 100%. Now, the secondary possibility of that is he doesn't have direct server level access. There may be a compromised employee's machine in there. That is also very likely. If you have a compromised employee machine, you would get the same level of access as if you had a vulnerability directly on the server.
I was typing in the regional finals chat saying that we should run another game without Jen Burton just to make sure that it's not Jen Burton who's compromised, right? Because if Jen Burton got his PC fucking finger fucked by Destroyer and it was only Destroyer and it was nothing server side or nothing server related, then we wouldn't know. If we didn't run another game, then we would legitimately just not know. We had to run another game without Jen Burton in the match to make sure that that guy was invincible, that he was God. And he proved he was God. But if we didn't do that, then we would have never known. I'll keep it honest with you, chat. Bro, after listening to what this guy is saying, and this guy is 10,000 more times smart than all of us combined, including anyone in Jen Burton's channel or anything, isn't it like really fucking stupid to like stream Apex right now if you're like a streamer or a big streamer? In theory, you're just like painting a target on yourself when we don't know how. Like, he's deliberately saying like it absolutely could be RCE and it could be 50 other things, and he absolutely could have access to your fucking everything. And then
What's the RECE shit?
it's just like a way to hack. And then the other thing is he's saying is it also could just be nothing and we're all fine and it's no big deal. What? I guess farm the money? I don't know, bro. I'm not taking that risk. So, I mean, good for Jen, but that is, I don't know, bro. I would argue that that's not the smartest thing Jen could do.